formation of palmitoyl-CoA, the first reaction is the conversion of palmitoyl-CoA to alpha-beta unsaturated palmitoyl-CoA. And this is occurred by the loss of two hydrogen atoms which are accepted by coenzyme FAD, and the reaction required the enzyme fatty acyl CoA dehydrogenase. In this reaction, a trans double bond is formed between alpha and beta carbon or 2 and 3 carbon atoms. The trans double bond here is because the hydrogen atoms are present at the opposite side of the double bonds. That is why it is trans double bond. And as it is present between alpha and beta carbon, that is why it is called alpha beta unsaturated palmitoyl-CoA. The next reaction is the addition of one water molecule to the form alpha beta unsaturated palmitoyl-CoA, which will then form beta or 3-hydroxy palmitoyl-CoA. This requires for the addition of water the enzyme enoyl-CoA hydratase, which is also called protonase. Now you can see in the equation the double bond between alpha and beta carbon in the alpha beta unsaturated palmitoyl-CoA is removed, and hydroxyl group is attached at beta carbon, and thus the alpha beta unsaturated palmitoyl-CoA is converted to beta because hydroxyl group is present on beta carbon, or 3-hydroxyl palmitoyl-CoA because it is also the third carbon. So we can say the beta or 3-hydroxyl palmitoyl-CoA is formed by the addition of one water molecule. The third reaction is the conversion of beta hydroxy palmitoyl-CoA to beta keto palmitoyl-CoA, and this is occurred by the loss of two hydrogen atoms, which required the coenzyme NAD and enzyme beta hydroxy fatty acyl CoA dehydrogenase, which cause dehydrogenation and remove two hydrogen atom from beta carbon. So the keto group formation is occurred, and thus beta keto palmitoyl-CoA is formed. Now the next reaction is the last reaction for releasing two carbon fragment, that is acetyl-CoA. In this reaction, splitting of beta keto palmitoyl-CoA is occurred at beta carbon. This process is also called thiolysis of beta keto palmitoyl-CoA, and this reaction will result in the formation of 14 carbon containing CoA derivative, that is myristoyl-CoA, and the 2 carbon containing fragment, that is acetyl-CoA, because the palmitic acid, which was the 16 carbon containing fatty acid, now after successful reaction or beta oxidation, it is converted to myristoyl-CoA and acetyl-CoA, and this required the enzyme acyl-CoA acetyl transferase, which is also called beta ketothiolase. Here the coenzyme A is also required. So the beta keto palmitoyl-CoA is converted to two fragments. One is myristoyl-CoA, that is 14 carbon containing fragment, and acetyl-CoA, that is 2 carbon containing fragment. The myristoyl-CoA, which is formed from palmitoyl-CoA, which is a 12 carbon containing fatty acid derivative, will be further broken down to 12 carbon containing fatty acyl-CoA with release of 2 carbon containing fragment, that is acetyl-CoA. So each time 2 carbon containing fragment is released, that is acetyl-CoA, and the cycles will continue until the last 2 carbon containing fragment, that is acetyl-CoA, is left. So we can say that the palmitic acid, which is 16 carbon containing fatty acid, after the formation of fatty acyl-CoA, will form 8 molecules of 2 carbon containing fragment, that is acetyl-CoA, and 7 times beta oxidation is occurred, and only 1 molecule of coenzyme A is needed in the oxidation of each of the subsequent beta carbon atom. So here we can see in the equation 1 molecule of palmitoyl-CoA will form 8 molecules of acetyl-CoA, and 7 series of the beta oxidation is occurred. So 7 molecules of coenzyme NAD and FAD are also utilized, and these 8 molecules of acetyl-CoA will go to TCA cycle for their oxidation. So every time acetyl-CoA is formed in the beta oxidation, and the molecules of acetyl-CoA will mix with the pool of acetyl-CoA derived from the metabolism of carbohydrates and many amino acids. And acetyl-CoA will follow the TCA cycle. Here we can calculate the total production of energy or ATP molecules or consumption of ATP or energy, and the net yield of energy or ATP molecules in the complete oxidation of 8 molecules of acetyl-CoA. So 1 molecule of acetyl-CoA, when oxidized, will go to take part again in oxidation reaction in the TCA cycle, which will result in the formation of 10 molecules of ATP. So on complete oxidation of 8 molecules of acetyl-CoA will provide 80 molecules of ATP. And as in the whole reaction, 7 times beta oxidation is occurred in palmitoyl-CoA, so 7 molecules of NADH and FADH2 are also take part in the formation of ATP. So 1 NADH will produce, or 1 molecule of NADH will produce 2.5 molecules of ATP. So as here 7 molecules of NADH are produced, so total 17.5 ATP molecules are produced. And 1 molecule of FADH2 will produce 1.5 ATP molecules. So the 7 molecules of FADH2 will produce 10.5 ATP molecules. So total number of ATPs which are produced from 7 molecules of NADH and FADH2 are 28 molecules of ATP. And on combining all the ATPs which are produced, whether from oxidation of acetyl-CoA by a TCA cycle and or from that which are synthesized with NADH or FADH2 molecules, they are 108 molecules of ATP. 80 molecules of ATP from TCA cycle and 28 molecules of ATP from NADH and NADH2. So total production of ATP molecules are 108 in case of beta oxidation of palmitic acid. But if we start with the palmitic acid, which is first converted to palmitoyl-CoA, which required one ATP molecule, and it will also form one molecule of pyrophosphate with adenosine monophosphate molecule, and this pyrophosphate molecule will ultimately and immediately hydrolysis. So in this way, two hydrogen phosphate bonds are utilized. So if we subtract the activation energy of, that is 2 ATP, so total yield or the net yield of ATP production with complete oxidation of 8 molecules of acetyl-CoA from palmitoyl-CoA is the 106 ATP molecules. So not only one ATP molecule is utilized, but also the pyrophosphate which is formed will be broken down, and thus two high energy phosphate bonds are utilized in the reaction. So by subtracting the two molecules of ATP, the net yield of ATP production is 106 molecules of ATP. Palmitic acid is fatty acid which is having even number of carbon, that is 16 number of carbon. And the fatty acid of even number of carbon are important in human metabolism, but there are some fatty acids which have odd number of carbons. So there is a slight difference in their oxidation, and in such case, the oxidation at successive beta carbon, each cycle will produce one molecule of acetyl-CoA, as was in case of palmitic acid, that is having even number of carbon. But the difference is there at the last, in case of odd number of carbon in fatty acid, the last product is a 3 carbon containing fragment which is left behind, and that is propionyl-CoA. And this propionyl-CoA is converted to succinyl-CoA, which then enter into TCA cycle and form glycogen or glucose. So mostly in human being, the fatty acids are which are important regarding metabolism are even number containing fatty acid. But there are some fatty acids which have odd number of carbons, and they follow the beta oxidation. But the difference is that at the last fragment, in case of odd number containing fatty acid, the propionyl-CoA is formed or remained, which is different as in case of even number containing fatty acid, that is palmitic acid, where acetyl-CoA molecule is left at the last. Role of carnitine. The fatty acyl-CoA molecules such as palmitoyl-CoA cannot cross the inner mitochondrial membrane, so cannot enter from cytosol to mitochondrial matrix. And this is occurred by the help of carnitine, which cause the transport of this, which help in the transport of this fatty acyl-CoA molecule. What is basically occurred? The enzyme carnitine acyl transferase 1 catalyzes the esterification reaction first, where the fatty acyl-CoA first react with carnitine and form fatty acyl carnitine and releasing CoA, that is coenzyme A. And this is occurred in cytosol or in the intermembranous space of the mitochondria, not in the inner membrane of mitochondria or in the mitochondrial matrix. So first enzyme, that is carnitine acyl transferase 1, will make the complex of fatty acyl carnitine. Now this fatty acyl carnitine will be transported by acyl carnitine transporter, which carries the fatty acyl carnitine through the mitochondrial membrane to the mitochondrial matrix. This is the basically facilitated diffusion method. So the CoA part is left behind and fatty acyl carnitine is transported to the mitochondrial matrix. Now the second enzyme, that is carnitine acetyl transferase 2, which is present in the mitochondrial matrix. What is the function of this enzyme? Here the enzyme carnitine acetyl transferase 2 catalyzes the reaction in which the fatty acyl carnitine will react with coenzyme A and then release the carnitine, and fatty acyl CoA is synthesized again. Now the synthesized fatty acyl CoA will go the oxidation reaction, and the form carnitine or liberated carnitine will go back to cytosol or to the outer mitochondrial membrane, and that is now available for the purpose of reuse. That is now available for its reusing, for its reuses. Another role of carnitine is the removal of excessively produced acetyl group from the mitochondrial matrix to the cytosol, because it helps to transport these groups from the mitochondrial matrix to the cytosol through their transport mechanism through inner mitochondrial membrane. The transport of fatty acid into the mitochondrial matrix, which is basically occurred by the enzyme carnitine acetyl transferase 1, is inhibited by malonyl CoA, which is produced during the fatty acid synthesis in the cytosol. This malonyl CoA basically inhibits the activity of this enzyme carnitine acetyl transferase 1, which is responsible for the rate limiting step of this process. Malonyl fatty acids are being synthesized, so they will decrease the fatty acids oxidation ultimately. Carnitine is so important. If its deficiency is occurred, maybe due to the defect in the synthesis of carnitine molecule, which is also observed in newborn babies, which is also observed sometime in the newborn babies, sometime also in adult. So in such case, impure fatty acid oxidation is occurred. So ultimately, the accumulation of lipids in the body as well as the ketoacidosis is occurred. which is the uncontrolled production of ketone bodies in the body, means ketogenesis. So if the oxidation does not occur in the body, so the muscles which need energy for different activities, they cannot get the enough energy, and thus the situation will result in the muscular weakness as well as hypoglycemia, because the process will not continue and formation of glucose or glycogen will also be decreased, and body will not get enough energy for different activities, causing muscular weakness and hypoglycemia. So students, this is all about for today lecture. Thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.